asteroid that was predicted to hit us in 60 years, but it's zooming past us today. So we dodged that bullet. Okay.
All right, Michele, we are live.
Okay, so welcome, everybody who's on the call. We're so glad that you could all join us tonight. So as a numerologist, I have to mention I love today because it's 999. And how did I get that? September's the ninth month. It's the 18th day. 8 and 1 is 9, and 2025 is 9. So it's 999. So very interesting day. Could be a lot of passion, and that's what we're going to hopefully bring to you tonight. Okay, so we're really excited about this class simply because we believe that we all need a kind of reboot of our thinking and how we see the world. So for some of you, it may be that you may see your life as repeating patterns. Maybe you have a lot of anxiety about things right now that really you have no control over. But most importantly, we want to show you the very circuitous routes that your brain and your mind take before you come to a perception or decision or action. So, sound good? So just a little bit about me first. I'm Michele Landers. I'm a board certified life coach, a certified hypnotherapist, a professional numerologist, and the author of 2 books. And I have to just say that I've been on this psychological spiritual path for well over 30 years, and it has unequivocally changed my life. And I do love sharing information. So, Teri, can you come on for a minute and just share a little bit about you, please?
Sure. Hi, Michele, and hello, everybody. I'm Teri Angel. For those of you who are not familiar with me, I am a international peace ambassador. I'm on a journey to spread peace and love and joy in our world. I do angel communication. I channel messages from them. I also do life coaching and business coaching and any coaching. So I just love helping people. And I'm so glad that you all are here to receive some help today. These tools and tips that you are going to receive are going to be absolutely amazing in your life. So, Michele, thank you for having me introduce myself, and I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Well, thank you. So I'm going to guess that all of you or some of you had some intention for tonight. And what would you get? What are you going to gain from this workshop? Or maybe you're just simply curious about what we're going to share. Well, Teri and I also have an intention, and we hope to shift your awareness and share with you how the lens through which you see the world shapes your reality, how that lens can be clouded by myriad of influences, and what do you need to do if you want to clean that lens and have clear vision. And Teri is also going to lead us through a lovely visualization exercise. And I just want to tell everybody, number one, this is recorded. And after this workshop, I'm going to send everyone 1 or 2 worksheets that you can do on your own. So with that, I really want to open this up with 2 really important quotes. One is, everything we hear is an opinion, and everything we see is a perspective and not the truth. And that was from the philosopher Marcus Aurelius. And the other quote that I love, we don't see the world as it is, we see it as we are. And that's from Anais, that's how you say her name, right? Anais Nin. So why should you listen to anything I have to say? Well, I wore this t-shirt for a reason. And if you could see it, I was in Boston, and I know the words are backwards, but guess what? It says wicked smart. So I have my wicked smart shirt on. So I know that we've probably all heard those quotes, but do we actually believe those statements to be true? I mean, 100%? Or maybe we think, well, that doesn't apply to everything. So, is there absolute truth? What about objective truth? What about empirical truth? Well, as it turns out, absolute truth and objective truth, or even empirical truth, don't really exist within the framework of human existence. So even if you thought, well, science is absolute or objective truth, that's not true. Know that science is always changing, always evolving. And a really good example is Newtonian physics versus Einstein's theory of relativity. So for centuries, they went by Newton's law of motion, were considered, that's it, the final word on gravity. But along came Einstein's theory of relativity, and that proved more accurate. So the only thing that I would think is empirical truth was probably mathematics. I think that's the closest. But let's also take an unfortunate but very common belief these days, okay? The world is a dangerous place. How do you think a person who has that belief hardwired behaves in the world? Well, chances are they see threats where others might see opportunity. Some people see problems, others see an opportunity disguised as a challenge. Most likely, they might avoid travel, they might avoid connection, they might avoid taking risks. Most likely, they're focusing on negative news and ignoring positive news or experiences. And it's likely everything or most of their experiences, I'll have to say, is just scanned through fear. You know, the friend who manages to put a negative spin on everything, you say, what a beautiful day it is. And they respond, yeah, but next week it's going to be sweltering, you know. Mm-hmm. I can tell you that's hard, they're hardwired negative belief talking. So here's the possible shift for the person who sees the world as dangerous. The world is unpredictable, but it's also full of support and beauty. And you can say to yourself, I can be cautious and still open. So just know that your belief systems determine what you expect to see, how you interpret what you see, and that's really important. Well, it's all important. What you do as a result of your interpretation. And guess what? All of that creates your reality, which to me means we don't see reality, we see our version of it. And that's why two people can witness the same event or accident or whatever and describe it completely differently. Two people can grow up in the same home and describe different experiences. That is so true of me and my experiences. So, what does that tell you? They're experiencing it through different inner framework. So, what's going on? How does our mind filter reality? Well, there's an explanation. It turns out that our mind filters reality through biases and, very importantly, past experiences. So I'm going to go through three biases, and hopefully you'll be able to see how all of this just contributes to how we see the world differently than somebody else does. So number one, confirmation bias. You might have heard this before. Confirmation bias simply confirms what we already believe. I think we all pretty much do that. And although this is not a political forum, I have to use politics because it's such a great example of confirmation bias. Whether you're right, whether you're left, it doesn't matter. If you are at all mentally or emotionally involved in the current political atmosphere or climate, I'm pretty certain you will seek out Now, I'm not saying that you consciously go after that, but somehow you're going to seek out news that supports your beliefs. And even if you tell me, oh no, I dig deeper, okay, where are you digging? You're digging the same way the others on the opposing views are digging, just in different places. Because let's be honest, where do we get most of our news, right? The internet. So what brings me to this, just know that the internet's algorithms, well, they know who you are, they know your likes, and it's going to tend to search out those things and bring up, for sure, little news clips or whatever that you already agree with. And since we are getting the majority of our news on the internet, how can you be absolutely sure what you're watching or listening to is the truth? Just let that sink in for a minute, okay? So here's something interesting that I read on a site called Free Thinkers. They, whoever they are, have done studies, and it turns out that fake news, now this is a belief, okay? Fake news travels faster than real news, or it kind of feels like there's a war on truth here. And add to that, that things are very often taken out of context. Listen, I have my own political beliefs, but there was a situation when someone who shares my same political beliefs told me something that, let's say, the other side had said, and it really sounded outrageous. But I really wanted to check it out, and I did. And it turns out that what was being shown or talked about was taken out of context, and then it was repeated. And that goes before you start thinking, oh, my political, whatever would never do that. They're both doing it, just so you know that. Okay. As I said, it goes both ways. Or in other cases, really important information about whatever happened is omitted. And again, both sides are doing this. So I would love, to engage with people who have an opposite belief that I do and just ask them, how did you come to believe that? Whether it's political or something else that I don't ascribe to, or maybe I don't know for sure. So here again, I want to emphasize, do not believe everything you hear or even see. And here's another example of things being taken out of context. I had seen a clip that was being promoted as, look what they did. And because I always like to check out both sides, and guess what? If you look closely at the clip and the timestamp, it was really something that had happened in another place in another year, and it had absolutely nothing to do with that particular situation or that person. So this is really important, guys. So I want you to think about that. And I want you to think about the fact that people who report fake news, whatever the fake news is, they're actually wanting to seek truth. In fact, the people that are saying what is fake news, they probably think that they're just spreading truth. So now we have another bias. It's called attribution bias, and you may not have heard of that before. And it's kind of a mental shortcut, or you could call it a cognitive distortion. I'm sorry. When we try to explain why people are the way they are, because it's easy for us to blame others' actions on their personality, but excuse our own based on circumstances. Example, he's late because he's lazy, or she's disrespectful. But when I'm late, it's because I got caught in traffic or some other excuse. I aced the test because I'm smart, but I failed because the teacher was unfair. That's an example of attribution bias. And we probably, all of us, carry that out to some degree. And then there is conformity bias. Conformity bias is when we simply agree or we conform with the opinions and the behaviors of others in a group setting, even if it's against our own personal beliefs or knowledge, but it's like, well, they all see it that way. Maybe I'm wrong. So, what does that sound like? Yes, if you're thinking the emperor's new clothes, that's what it is, right? We've all heard that story. So here's a fact: no one is free of biases. When someone shares information, whether it's through conversation, news, social media, or books, they're just interpreting reality through their own filters. Even something that sounds like a fact is often colored by context and filtered through what? Our emotions, our cultural conditioning, and our personal experiences. Sometimes somebody might say, well, that person is rude. Is that a fact? Are you stating it as a fact? And I hear that very often, things stated, that person is this, that person is that, as a fact. But actually, it's a judgment based on your values or your expectations. And just, what's rude to one person to another person, maybe what? Maybe they're just very assertive or honest. And that's how they see that person, not necessarily rude or, yeah, just assertive or speaking their minds. Why does all this matter? Well, our biases, our belief that we know something is truth, are sometimes very myopic view of people and things without questioning. Just know that our thinking and our beliefs, very often, what happens? It fuels misunderstandings, judgment, projection, all key components of distorted perception. It keeps us trapped in false stories about not only ourselves, about others. And as far as our thoughts, feelings, emotions, behaviors are concerned, I always ask my clients in reference to any of their negative experiences, if you didn't have those thoughts, if you didn't have that memory of that negative experience or experiences, who would you be? Would you see things in the world differently? I got to say, absolutely. And that's when I have this thought: wouldn't selective amnesia be a great idea? But we don't have that. And of course, there's that movie. I don't know if anybody watched it on Netflix, Severance, and that is selective amnesia. But look, certainly there are others, less intrusive ways of changing our thoughts, our perceptions, and our future and our life. Again, I just want to emphasize our emotions, our behaviors, our reactions are tied up, for the most part, with past experiences. So, again, if you didn't have a memory of some of those things or some of those challenging experiences, how would that change who you are and the choices that you make? Think about that for a minute or maybe 10 seconds, because right now I do want to show you I can share my screen, right, Teri?
You should be able to.
Okay. Yeah, I want to show you a couple of PowerPoint things. It says host disabled participant screen sharing.
All right, right now.
Try now? Okay. Okie dokie, here we go. Okay. So I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Can you all see that clearly or? Okay. Can you tell me what occurs twice in a week, once in a year, but never in a day? So I'm going to give you 10 seconds to see if you can answer that.
You can type it in the chat.
Yeah, thank you for that. Anybody answering that?
Are we supposed to unmute?
Um, well,
Or how are
no,
we answering? Just typing?
you could type it in because I don't want anybody to give it away yet.
Oh, I don't have an answer.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to give you the answer, and it's going to be really obvious. And you're going to say, and this is just an example of how we look at the world. So the answer is the letter E. The letter E occurs twice in the word week. It occurs once in the word year, but never in the word day. And I think that is a stunning example of sometimes we just don't, we only think in a certain way that can be very linear. So let me go to the next one. Where's the
I
next?
just want to say that's misleading.
Okay.
That's my opinion. Sorry.
That's your opinion. You can
Yeah.
mute yourself now.
I am.
Okay. All right, good. All right. Perception is everything. One person sees 6, one person sees 9, right? And let's go to the next one. All right. I just threw this in here because this is from Joe Dispenza, and I love this. So when you have a thought, whatever that thought is, your brain instantly signals your body to produce these biochemical messengers. And they could be neurotransmitters, stress hormones, good feeling chemicals. So what you need to know is your thoughts are not abstract. They're also physical. And your cells are listening because they're all your cells, all your trillions of cells are like little brains. They're listening to everything that you think, and imprinting that within your cells, within your biology. Okay, whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay, here's another one. Take 10 seconds and, this is kind of an optical illusion. See how many faces you can count in this tree.
Faces.
You can put it in the chat if you want.
Oh. Oops. There's one more.
Okay, well, let's just move on. All right. I'll show you. I'm going to show you how many. There's 10. Yeah, wow.
I can see them.
Okay.
Good grief.
So because this is a brief workshop, there is other little teasers that I could give you, but okay, I want to get rid of this. Yeah, save it and get it down. Yeah, that's just an example of how our mind can trick us in so many ways. So what I want to do right now is turn it over to Teri, because she's going to do a clearing the lens little meditation or visualization for us. But all right, I'll save the questions for later. How about that? So Teri, do you want to take us, you want to get into the spotlight here and take us through that?
Absolutely, Michelle. So let me see if I can do this. Okay, can everybody see me? Not that I want you to see me, I want you to see you, but but now we know where the focus is. So let's do a meditation. Many of you have meditated with me. You know the power of the breath. The breath is the connection. So what I want you to do right now is to get yourself comfortable. And this is going to be kind of a different meditation than what you're used to doing with me. Normally, I have you remove all distractions, you shut out the world for a minute, and we meditate together. But I want you to take a minute and I want you to turn your video on if you can, if it works, because I want you looking at that image of you on the screen. If you can't, if you have a cell phone or if you prefer to do it that way, pretend you're going to take a selfie So turn it on, turn your camera on to where you can see yourself on the screen. If you have neither of those, maybe you're joining us online, then I want you to just either have a mirror that you can look into or envision in your mind that there is a mirror right there in front of you. We're going to do some mirror work. And those of you who are maybe familiar with Louise Hay, mirror work is so important. It teaches us a lot. So we're going to do a releasing meditation with the mirror. So as you breathe in, you'll find yourself getting more relaxed, and hopefully you're all set up now with where you can view yourself.
Excuse me 1 minute, Teri. I'm sorry
Sure.
to interrupt, but I'm saying, people, you can use your phone if you want as well. If you're more comfortable using your phone as the mirror, if you don't want to look at all the faces on here, you could do that as well. I'm sorry, I just thought I'd throw that in.
Thank you. That's what I was saying. Like you're going to take a selfie. Just
okay.
pretend you're taking a selfie, and what you're looking at is yourself on your phone or in the mirror or on your screen or in your mind's eye, if you prefer to do it that way with your eyes closed. All right. So as you breathe in, know that this mirror image represents your mind, your inner landscape, your way of seeing yourself and the world, as was just taught by Michele. I want you to notice how it looks. Maybe when you first look at it, it's clouded by thoughts, by judgments, by worries, by the noise of the day. There may be many things going through your mind as you look at that image of you in the mirror. Maybe you're looking at the physical and your flaws, or looking to see how good you look. No judgment. It's just the way that we do when we look at ourselves. And everything is perfect. It's all okay, whatever your experience is. I want you to simply observe what is there. And now with each breath that you take, envision that you have a soft cloth that just appears in your hand. And when you exhale, you can gently wipe the surface of the mirror. With the first pass, the condensation of worry begins to lift. Maybe you see the worry lines. Maybe you see in your eyes that something is just not sitting right with you. See that clearing away as you clean the lens. And now with the second pass of that cloth, the dust of doubt is cleared away. How many times do we look at ourselves and we go into an insecurity, a doubt about our life, our path? Now we're going to swipe again, and the smudges of the old stories and the judgments fade into nothingness. Continue wiping slowly and gently. Release anything that no longer serves you. That may be self-criticism. Boy, is this a good time to release that as we're looking at ourselves in that mirror. We're our worst critics. So maybe you're still looking at the physical. I want you, as you do this clearing, to stop looking at your hair, your face. Glance into your eyes like you were looking into the eyes of a loved one. Release the weight of other people's expectations. What are they putting on you? What are they trying to get you to do that may not be setting well with your soul? Let's wipe away outdated beliefs that you've been carrying. As you do this, notice how your image gets sharper, brighter, smoother, and you're able to see more clearly into your own eyes. Are you holding eye contact with yourself? This is important because I think this is something that we've gotten away from, is really holding eye contact as we're communicating. And this is you communicating with yourself. So continue now, wiping away any lingering smudges, all those old beliefs, the self-criticism, and the weight of expectations from others, from yourself. Every gentle motion, you're releasing what no longer serves you. And now look in that mirror again. For the first time, maybe in perhaps a long while, maybe you've never done this. See yourself clearly. Not that version that's shaped by fears or doubts, but your radiant, whole, shining essence. This is you. This is your true reflection. This is the light of your soul. Now take a deep breath. Feel the truth of who you are. Notice the brilliance, the innocence, the love that shines from your very core. For some of you, as you release, you might have a sigh. You might feel your whole body just drooping as you release that weight. And as you gaze now into that clear reflection, ask, what do I need to see right now? Be open. Listen for the answer. Allow anything that comes through, any image, any words, any truths to come forth. You might see symbols. You might hear a whisper. Or you might just have that feeling of knowingness. Trust what's coming forward as you release, as you let go. Let's just stop and be with this. Just take a few moments. Maybe you did release. Maybe you got nothing. It's okay. Whatever experience you had, it's your experience. But I encourage you to allow the clarity to come through, the clarity of your own soul to speak to you through your eyes. And now, before you come back to the room with everyone else, take a moment to just process what just happened. See if there were any insights that you gained. Were you emotional? Did you release tears? Did you laugh? Did you smile? Do you feel lighter? Was there a revelation as you fully faced yourself? Ask your higher self, what do I need to know from this experience? And how do I move forward now with this knowledge? So you can put your phones down, put your mirrors down, and when you're ready, thank yourself for showing up. Thank the wisdom within for revealing itself, and gently bring yourself back to the awareness of your full body. Wiggle your fingers and toes and take one more deep breath to join us here in the Zoom room, where we are all waiting for you. And carry this clarity with you. This isn't the end. This was just a beginning. Know that the mirror of your mind can always be wiped clean. Each day you have a clean slate. Each day you can start new, creating your life the way you want it to be, seeing more clearly, looking at what is illusion and what is reality. And I encourage you to start your day this way. Most of us, when we get up in the morning, we do look at ourselves, or at least we glance at ourselves in the mirror. I encourage you to really look at yourself. And then, as you go about your day, look at others that same way, with eyes of love and compassion. And what do I need to take away from this? Maybe there was a judgment. Maybe there was some of these biases that Michele taught us about. Be open to what can come for you, the learning that can come for you. And thank you Thank you to everyone who participated. Again, if you were unable to do it, there will be replays of this. You can tune into this meditation and do it again and do it again. I encourage you to do it until you can fully get to that place where when you look in the mirror, that's what you're looking at. You're looking in your own eyes and saying, what do I need to know in this very moment? What do I need to know? Bless you all for being here today. And Michele, I'm going to bring you back on with me.
Wow. That was really heartfelt, Teri. Thank you. That was really beautiful. I got to tell you, it was so funny. You know what I saw? What came to me was a cartoon. I don't know if everybody remembers Wile E. Coyote, right? But his heart was, you know how the heart comes out, it jumps out, and then it goes back in, and then it jumps back. That's what I saw. And then I saw butterflies and birds and hearts floating around him. I think it was just the message for me that I need to love myself, which has been a bit of an issue for me. And I'm still working on it. So
we're work in progress, Michele. We're all works in progress.
But I'm wicked smart.
You're wicked smart. You're one of the smartest people I know.
So, yeah, that was beautiful. Okay, let me get back on track now. What did I want to talk about now? Joe Dispenza, right? So Joe Dispenza says that 95% of who you are by the time you are 35 years old is a set of memorized behaviors, emotional reactions, beliefs, perceptions, and attitudes that run just like a computer program. So 5% of your conscious mind begins to work against 95% of what you memorize. So you want to think positively, but you're feeling negative. And just know that the powers that be, whatever you want to interpret that as, whoever that might be, that is trying or are trying to keep us confused and disoriented and anxious. So this is about taking back your power. So don't you want to be more aware, have less anxiety, make better decisions, and very importantly, trust your intuition more, have more peace, and create a different, more empowered future? Of course you do. Of course we all do, right? But how do we do it? Well, we did it hopefully tonight by at least starting here, by tearing back the curtain, acknowledging that, yes, we do have biases, but we have to take that further. And you can't just do this in a 45-minute class. So the next step is to dive deep into our biases, into our beliefs. And we have to become critical thinkers. Now, what's a critical thinker? Meaning that we think more clearly, more logically, and again, this is really important, independently, okay? And outside the box. So now you might say, okay, well, how do we do that? Well, we ask ourselves really good questions. Question our assumptions by examining and taking an inventory and a deep dive into our beliefs. And I had to keep repeating that because that is essential. Evaluate evidence rather than being led by emotion, by bias or social pressure. Become curious. And this is what I believe is really, 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 really critical. We really need to learn how to tap into our intuition, which, trust me, and I've certainly had so many miraculous experiences as Teri has. Tune into your intuition, learn how to do that because it's a better truth-o-meter than anything outside of yourself. So I really think that these are vital skills that we need for navigating right now in this well, we always need it for navigating this really complex world, especially in this age of information, misinformation, overload, and polarization. So, if any of this resonates with you, and if you'd like to take a deeper dive into the things we mentioned, Teri and I are going to be presenting a deep dive workshop in January. And Teri, I know you'd like to say something about it, so I'm going to turn it over to you.
You know, I so enjoy working with you, Michele, and we've done many co-creations in the past. And one of the things that we have done in the past is a vision board workshop. Well, that will be incorporated in this workshop, but it feels like it's evolved. So each year it's been a little different, and people are always asking, when are you going to do another vision board for us? Because we didn't get to do one this year, but we will in 2026. And it's not just a vision board that will be incorporated in what we're doing, but it's going to be, like Michele said, that deeper dive. And if you resonated with anything that we did today, whether it was experiencing your own inner truths and looking and releasing, or it's learning about biases and the lens that we look through as we look at the world, you're going to like this workshop. You're going to really gain a lot of insight in the time that we spend together. It's only about half a day. We're kicking around 3.5 hours to 4 hours is what the time frame is going to be. So you can block off that bit of time when you sign up with us, and come be with us. Come enjoy together. It will be interactive. I know we didn't get to do a lot of interactive stuff, and I've encouraged you in the chat to share your experience from today, whether it was the learning part, the reflection part, whatever it was, just being here. Let us know how this sat with you. How did you feel about what we presented? And hopefully you'll be with us in January. Right, Michele?
Yes. And all I can say is the workshop's for you. If you're thinking, I know there's something blocking my clarity, but I can't quite name it. I've done some inner work, but I still get pulled back into old stories. I'm ready to not just understand this stuff, but really incorporate it into our lives and truly transform. And we have a special tonight only, right?
Well, 24 hours, you're going to be able to sign up. And thank you to Sue Seekoff, who has put the link, the sign up through Jotform. It's in the chat, and I'm positive she's put it on the online streaming as well.
Okay.
And just to read what was the little description, it's called Truth Mapping, a visioning workshop for real change with Michele and I, January 24th. So you can save that date. In this workshop, you'll begin to rewire old narratives, tap into your inner wisdom, and envision a life aligned with your deepest truth. Get ready to see clearly. Get ready to live boldly. Get ready to create a real change. So if you take advantage of the link that's been shared, that link is going to go away. This is an opportunity for you to get a discount because you came here today and spent time with us. And then the regular price will be what's available after that. So we are giving you a discount today if you sign up.
And they also get, well, okay, so they'll also get an opportunity to have an hour with either you or me, right, after the workshop, correct?
Yes, that is part of the sign up form. You can sign up just for the class and be with us for that. But there's also an opportunity, as Michele said, that after we present this workshop, where you've really gone deeper and done a deeper dive, it's like, okay, what's next? I know many times when I've attended a workshop, I'm like, okay, well, I got some answers. I had a transformation. I had some things that really were the ahas. But now what? And so Michele and I are opening ourselves up to work with you. And on the sign up form, you can sign up for that personal time with us to lead you and to help you to explore what next. So that's part of the sign up. It's an option. So if you feel like you would like to take advantage of some personal time with Michele or I, then yeah, that may be something that you want to explore.
Okay. Thank you, Teri. And so we're like a couple of minutes over. I really wanted to keep this tight tonight, and I apologize for making if we didn't do more, as Teri said, more experiential things, but we just wanted to keep this pretty tight tonight and just give you a taste of what the experience would be when we go further, when we take the deep dive. So does anybody have any questions at all? Anything you want to ask us or any comments? Please either raise your hand, unmute yourself, and let us
Look at all
know.
these beautiful people, Michele.
I know. Yeah, I
I
really
just changed
appreciate
it.
everybody
I
showing
just
up.
changed it so we can see all of you. Thank you
Yeah.
for being here.
Okay, no comments, no questions.
I see a thank you that came in on the chat. I see a heart going up in the air.
I'd like to say, can you hear me?
Yes, just
Okay.
Auntie Jane.
I'd like to say that I have taken a few workshops with these two beautiful, beautiful ladies, and they have been marvelous. They're always marvelous. And this was wonderful, ladies. I learned so much. And just, we know we have biases, but putting a label on them somehow really helped to make that more real. And the mural thing, oh my goodness, I love that. Usually when I look in the mural in the morning, I'm like, all I see is the physical old lady that's in the mural. Doing this was so wonderful because I just looked at this lady looking at me with so much love and light, and I just wanted to say hello to her too. So I think that if that's what other people see, that's wonderful. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you, Aunt Jane. Auntie Jane. Any other questions from anybody? So listen, if anybody has more questions, if you feel like, you would like to speak to Teri or I, please just reach out to us. I don't know, I guess we should put our information in the chat box there or something.
Sue's on it. Sue works with the Enlightened World Network. She's part of our spiritual
amazing.
family, the P's for Peace. And Sue is so amazing. And she's already on it, Michele. And there was a question about what day. It's January 24th. It is a Saturday. We don't have the exact time worked out, but we will get that to you. If you sign up, you will definitely get all the information. But yeah, and just know, I'll just like throw a little thing in here. I am going to be off on a journey out of the country for the rest of the year. And you're getting me right off of a journey to Egypt and India and the UK, and all of that spiritual energy is going to come forth in this workshop. So just a little hint that it's going to be so elevated that that you're yeah. Yes, Charlie, you can sign up another person. Just put all of their pertinent information into the sign up.
Yeah. So again, that link will be available for that, and that price will be available for 24 hours, and then the price is going to change. So I guess that is it. And what I will do is send out another email making everybody aware of that 24-hour deadline. But we encourage you to sign up now. And again, if you have any questions whatsoever, just give us a text, an email, a phone call. All right. So if no one has any other questions, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. I hope that we helped to clear your vision a little bit. Sue, you are such a blessing as well. Thank you so much. Teri, I always love working with you. And thank you, everybody. We really do appreciate your coming on board tonight, and bless you all.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. And let's just close our circle looking around before we go off. Just look around, see the faces that are here with you. And just as you looked at yourself and saw yourself deeper through looking through your eyes, look at each person with a smile and with some love and some compassion. And hopefully we'll see this same group plus more in our workshop. And won't that be great? You've already seen each other, so you're a little familiar with what each other looks like. I love you all so much.
Thank you, Teri. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you
Good night,
all.
guys.
All right.
Bye.